Yeah, this is the problem statement. Okay.
Yeah. Find the maximum sum such that no two elements are adjacent. Sir, and it contains all positive numbers only?
No,
Uh, I mean, the array can consist of non-positive or well, zero and negative are
yes,
also included, right?
correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, so first I would
Maybe
explain
start the
you
same
what.
thing. Maybe I think that maybe Aditya, you start that it will have only positive units. Okay, let's start with that.
So I should directly write the code.
No, no, I'm just simplifying the problem. Okay, let's assume that
Okay.
will have only positive units. Okay,
Okay, only positive. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So the first I should start by writing the code, sir, or should I explain you first?
you explain the logic, then we'll see.
Yeah. Sir, then ideally we are told that no two elements are adjacent. So basically, this means that we can only go for alternate elements or more than that. So somehow, if this is the array which has been given to me, then I would start from like even index 0 to 4, and I will compute their sum as sum even, and then I would go for from odd index like 505, and I will compare those two, and the one
Okay,
and the one with the greater sum, that would be the answer.
okay. Maybe I should have done a cat example. Okay, just give me a second. I will take this input. Okay. Hmm. Right. You see, I just said that the two elements is not adjacent, right? So now see the input output of one.
No two
Any idea
elements are.
how it is?
Got it. So basically, I'm trying that every possibility where no two elements are adjacent,
Okay.
and I will check it for every element. Like the outer loop will go from I equal to 0 till I equal to n minus 1 basically,
Okay.
and the inner loop and I will keep a variable max which will store the maximum sum till now, and the inner loop somehow I will traverse it from, if this is the first element I, then I will uh, the j will go start from I plus 2, and alternatively it will go, and then the j will go from I plus 3 and alternatively it will go, then I
But you
plus
can't
4 and
decide it's I plus two, right? Okay. Then how do you know
yeah,
from I plus two, right? How do you go?
yeah,
Will you go to I plus three or I plus four? You should not go to I plus
yeah,
three,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it made sense. Like the increment operation, that is not something which is fixed here. I plus 1, I plus 2, I
Yeah.
plus 3.
Take a simple example, Laitya. Take a simple example like four arrays. Try to build a solution based on that. Okay, don't take a whatever I gave input, right? It's a big array. Maybe make shorter one and do it. Okay, try to come up with a solution based on that.
Let's check. After the- Hello. Okay. Okay, I see. Maybe this one.
So take example of like 4 to 5 size of array and
Yeah.
try different combinations. Okay.
Yeah. 1, 4, 3, 2 can. What can be the maximum sum? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2. And it can be 6, right? Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Let me take 5. So for 5, it can be 6, it can be 4. 3 plus 1, 4. 9. Okay, like the same way if we did for 6, 5, 10, 100, 10, 5. So maximum will be 6. For 5, it will be 5. For 10, it can be 6 or 5. So it will be 16. For 100, it can be 5, 6, 6, 106. For 10, it can be 16, 5, or 6, right? For 10, if I check, 10 is 16, 16, 26. For 5, if I check, it can be 106 can be. Yes, sir. So can I try this solution? I
Okay.
mean,
What is
can I?
that? Yeah.
Sir, so let me take. I mean, I tried it using another array, but let me explain you with this array. Like
Okay.
6, 5, 10, 100, 10, 5. So
Okay.
basically, 6, 5, 10, 100, 10, 5. If I go for it. So for 6, if I go, what is the maximum sum from preceding it can carry? So I will write 6. Okay, from the
Okay.
start. For 5, it will be 5 because 6 cannot be the one. Now,
Okay.
now if I compare it now when I go to 10, it can only be 6 because the previous one cannot be.
Okay.
So it will be 16 for 10.
Okay.
Now if I go for 100,
Mm-hmm.
it can be from 5 and 6 only. Because see,
Mm.
100 has 3 choices, 6, 5, and 16. But
Correct.
16 cannot be the one.
Correct.
Because it is, so it will only be 6 it will choose.
Okay.
So which is 106. Now,
Correct.
now if we come to 10 again, then it has all the choices, but it will choose 16 because 106 it
Wait.
cannot choose.
At 10, what choices does it have? Or should have?
10
At 10.
has 10 has choices like 16
16.
and
Okay.
5. 16, 5, and 6.
No. 16, 5 is fine. Why do you need 6? Do you need to put
Exactly.
in 6?
No, we don't need 6, but I just told it for the sake of argument because in 16, 6 is already included.
Okay. Okay.
So ideally 6 is not needed, but it's 16 or 5.
Okay.
So basically it will go for 16, so it will choose 26. And now when I go for 5, then it will choose 106.
Okay. Okay.
Same way if I go for 1, 2, 3, then 1 has 1, 2 has 2, 3 has only 1. So it will be 4.
Yeah. Whatever
Same.
said is
Yeah.
correct. Theoretically correct. How would you write the code? How do you write the code?
Uh,
We have 9 minutes for this problem. Then we'll move to this problem.
yes, sir. So,
Just array. Okay. I don't want to write anything. The inputs array.
yeah.
That's it. Integer array.
Okay, okay, cool.
Just in the sum. Int. Maybe I will. Okay. Yeah, I want this. Okay. We'll put some for now.
Okay.
Just complete this one. We'll complete this. Okay.
Okay. So this is okay.
What is it?
No, no, nothing. Now I will be okay. So how do I write this as temp of I will be? This if I were for 26, it will go for it will just compare. Just compare. So basically, I guess temp 2 also I will have to write, right? Maths of like okay, so match of if I do here, it will be match of I minus 2 minus 2 3 5 like okay check 100 के लिए गया ना तो I minus 2 5 था I minus 3 6 था 5 और 6 में से मैच किया 6 से उसको ऐड कर दिया ठीक है फिर आगे जो 10 में मैंने I minus 2 का चेक किया I minus 3 का 10 पे है उसमें मैंने ऐड कर दिया ठीक है फिर I minus इस पे गया 5 पे गया 5 के लिए चेक किया सब कुछ तो N minus 3 हाँ हाँ तो ये ऐड कर दिया अरे आई ऐड किया था 10 5 then uh, check I minus 2 के लिए check I minus 1 minus 2 I minus 3 okay max plus array of I is it important to do array of I obviously it is yes so मैंने हाँ then हाँ yes sir hello
Okay. I'm looking at the code.
yeah
Mm. So explain what you are doing. You're using a temporary array. Okay. So every time what you're doing, you're just
so first three entries like temp 0 is array 0 temp 1 is array 1 temp 2 is array 0 plus array 2 now I started from I equal to 3 and I took the maximum of I minus 2 and I minus 3 and temp, and then I added to array of I, like temp I. मम्मी दरवाजा भटकाई थे बंद
Okay.
नहीं थे ना? हाँ. I did from I equal to 3 because if from I equal to 2 also I could do, but then segmentation fault will come because memory access and all.
Okay. Hmm. So every time you're iterating, you're just updating temp zero. Okay. Temp one. Okay. Right two. I is equal to three. Then what you're doing after that? First, your the outer loop will always update tempo zero and one to two. Okay. And the outer loop. So the inner loop, right? So there, what you're trying to do?
No,
You're
no, no. Sorry, sir. Okay, this is only one loop. This is just for initializing the temp to store the value of a temp as a of I.
oh, okay, okay, fine. Sorry, my bad. Maybe you're right. Whatever you call is fine. Uh, okay, fine. Okay, now
Basically,
1 second.
sir, is this correct?
Okay, so now here, what you're trying to do? You're trying to get the maximum of temp minus two. Okay,
So this is basically like that maximum endings, like till this number, what can be the maximum ending be?
okay.
Hmm.
So including current element, okay, but okay, you are ignoring the previous element. Okay, I minus one you're ignoring. Okay, I minus one, I minus two, I minus three. Okay, you're just ignoring temp of I minus one, right? That's what you're
Yes,
doing
sir.
here.
Yeah.
Hmm. Just thinking any edge cases are missed or not. So initially it's fine. You initializing three things properly. After that, will it work for all cases? Can you do a dry run first? We'll see it's
Yes,
working
sir.
for all cases or not. Yeah.
Yes, sir. For which test case?
Maybe take some input. Maybe five the first input, right? Take the first input. 6,
6, 5,
5.
10, 100, 10,
Yeah, yeah,
15.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, till here temp will store the same array. Now temp 0 will store array as sits. Hello?
Okay. Okay.
Temp 1 will be 5.
Okay.
Now temp 2 will be 6 plus 10, which is 16.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm going into the loop. Now starting from temp 3, now that will check the minimum,
Minimum.
like temp, sorry, the maximum from two values
Okay.
less. So okay, so temp 3 will check maximum from temp 1 and temp 0.
Okay.
So that is, I guess, sits in this case. And that sits will be added to the ARRI. So basically the temp will be 106.
But one quick question. What's the
Yes,
definition
sir.
of the temp variable? Correct? You're trying to build up something like DP, correct? So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, what is the definition of temp? What at any time, right? Temp by what will have?
So basically it is till that, okay, so at till that index,
Okay.
that will be the maximum sum which it will give such that no two elements are adjacent. Till that index.
Okay. So will it work for all cases? One use case it will fail. You're always assuming that you're always including minus two and minus three. You're just ignoring previous one, correct? And you're including the current one.
Yes, sir, but I guess in minus 3, sir, at each and
You
every
see,
point it will
wait,
take
wait,
care of that.
hold on.
Yes, sir.
As your definition, a tempi means what? That is the maximum sum till that point, correct? Is that
Yes,
right
sir.
definition of your tempi? Maybe
Yes,
you
yes,
repeat.
yes.
Okay, can you repeat the definition of tempi?
Sir, max sum till that index such
Okay,
that no two elements are adjacent.
okay, good. My question is it correct? Whatever you're saying, it will work for some cases, but for some cases it will not. Just look at your code. The approach overall is correct, but you're missing something. You're always what you're doing. You're always including the current element and ignoring previous element and the previous two, right? Like previous, like minus two, minus three, you're using correct.
So that
So
I'm comparing of temp and not array.
okay, I will give you an example. Okay,
Uh,
0. Okay, maybe 1 is there, 4 is there, mm, and 2 is there. Okay, so when you are at this position, right? What should be the output? Maximum sum will
uh,
return. Will return. Okay, before your code, right? You tell me what should be the output.
4.
Okay, will your function return 4? Maybe a
Uh,
tempo, right? So tempo, right?
hmm.
So what you're doing there? You're just doing temp minus 2, like temp I minus 2, temp I minus 3, correct?
Hmm.
You are ignoring 4. That's the problem. Got it?
No, sir.
Mm,
But I'm adding that, no, sir, here.
where? No, when you're at position temp, okay, for a given input, right? You do a dry run 0, 0,
Okay.
1, 4, 2.
Okay, so temp 0 is 0, temp 1 is 0, temp 2 is 1. Now I went for temp 3. What will it go for? It will basically be 0.
We'll spend another minute, then we'll put next question, okay?
Yes, sir. So it will start 0 and then it will 4 max. Okay. And then it will go to temp 2, the last index. That will be, it will set from 1, 0. So it will take 1 and so 4, no? So I guess that the thing which I have returned, that is wrong.
Okay, then what should we return?
It should be the max element, or okay. Okay, so basically it will be the max of temp n minus 1 and temp n minus 2. Max from those two.
But for this case, it will work, but not for all. Okay,
Or
so
it should
you
return the
see, by
maximum
your
value of
definition,
temp.
right?
Hmm.
You see, your definition is that's the maximum sum till this point. That's what your definition, right? It
Hmm.
doesn't mean that it should include that element every time. Tempo is fine, but you should include AFI every time. It's not a condition, right? It's not DP, correct? If your
Yeah.
that I is smaller, right? So what should you do? Should you ignore, keep it, or should you ignore it? You're getting the point, right? You're blindly adding array of I every time. Okay,
Hmm.
you're not adding temp minus I minus one. Okay, okay, I'm giving you a solution, but it's not also all cases. Okay, that's the conclusion. Yeah. Fine, move to the
So
next
where,
problem. Okay, we'll come back
so
to that.
where is this incorrect, sir? That I did not get.
I just gave a one example. Okay, you
Uh,
change the solution, like you said that you will return maximum, but it will not work for all cases. Okay, I gave an example to
okay.
correct your error, but you just
Okay.
said that you will just do that. Okay, fine.
Okay,
We'll come
sir. I
back
will
to
look into
that.
it. Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, simple question. Okay, maybe start with easy problem. Okay.
Hmm.
Check whether given two strings are anagram or not. I
Given
will
two
just
strings
tell you
are.
the anagram or not. Okay. I will just this is the second problem. Let me place it. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, yeah, tell me.
No, no, no. Acha, okay, you already this thing.
Yeah, just paste in the left side. It not notice that.
Oh yeah. Said two strings are anagram or not. A B C D. Sir, am I supposed to know the meaning of anagram already
What I
from the
yeah, I didn't get
looks?
that.
Am I supposed to know the meaning of this term, anagram?
I mean,
Sir, your voice is tracking.
hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Uh, yes,
Hello,
sir.
hello.
Yes, yes.
So I give you two strings, okay? So you need to
Uh,
check their anagram or not. When you say anagram, right?
uh,
So the characters present in the first string will match the other string. When you say characters, like here, right? A B C D is there, then other string is A
uh,
D C. Okay.
uh,
So you see the characters, right? Will be same.
uh.
But
So
the
each and every
order
character
is
matches with. Hmm.
yes,
Okay.
yes, the same occurrence. Okay.
Sir, in this I can simply sort the second string, sir. I can sort both the strings and then I can compare each
Okay.
index. If there's,
Okay.
if at any point if they're different, then they are not anagram.
Okay. What will time complexity of that?
Sorry,
What will be the time complexity of that solution? What are you saying, right?
sir, it will be n log n.
Okay. Why it's analog?
So because the sorting which I'll be using, sir, that would be based on the ASCII values, sir. So it can be any sort like merge sort or quick sort. So
Wait.
that
You're saying analog, right? Tell me which algorithm you'll use for sorting.
ideally, so when I said sorting, I so told that HTL which I would use. But all right, in this
Okay.
sorting, uh, but
Okay. You will use SQL, right? What is used internally? What algorithm does it use?
so it is quick sort.
Okay. So using quick sort. Okay. So what is the time complexity of that post case?
So n log n.
Are you sure about that? So you're saying
Uh,
the quick sort's worst case time complexity is n-log. Is that right?
so I'm not exactly sure about the worst case of quick sort, but
Then how do you say this is your time complexity of your solution? You're not sure about the algorithm that you use.
there is one sort I don't exactly remember the name, which is it's n log n as its best and worst time complexity both.
Okay, maybe I'll ask a different question, Aditya. So when I asked you about
Uh,
time complexity, right?
uh,
What should you answer basically? What time complexity you should answer? You have multiple things, right? You said best case, worst case. Whenever I ask you time complexity, right? What should you tell me?
so it should be n log n, no?
No, no. I'm talking about the terms. Should you tell you? Should
Okay.
you tell the time worst case or best case?
Always the worst case.
Okay. Now coming back here.
Hmm.
So quick shot, you're not sure. and you're saying you
No.
use some other algorithm, but you're not sure
Mhm.
what it is also, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so to conclude, you're not sure about the time complexity. Is
Uh,
that right?
yes, sir. But as far as I remember, sir, I don't remember which sort. But in that sort, the worst case time complexity is n log n.
Okay. But what it is, if I ask, right?
Huh?
Either can you hear me? But hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir. It's just that
Yeah.
your voice is breaking a bit.
Sorry, man. It's raining here. Some network issue. Sorry, really sorry about that. Okay.
No issues.
So you're saying you will use some sorting algorithm, and the time complexity is always n log n,
Yeah,
right?
the
Is that
worst case time complexity.
okay? Uh, but how would I take as a solution? Do you expect me to take the solution? You're saying you use
No,
some
no,
sorting algorithm,
no, no.
correct?
I get it. From my side, I should know which exact algorithm of sorting.
Okay, fine. Okay, so okay, let's say you want to use some sorting algorithm. Okay, it's n log n. But thing
Huh.
is, I don't want that. It's really too slow. I don't want. I want some faster, optimized solution. Can you come up with the approach?
Okay, so you want O of n solution basically.
You see, I'm not a technician. I'm not a software professional.
Okay.
I came to you with a requirement. This is my problem. Solve it in an optimal manner. That's all I am asking. You have to tell me this is the optimal solution. Okay, I leave that to you.
Okay, then I can do this way. That ABCD 26 letters. Sir, I can. So the string will contain only A to Z.
No, I haven't mentioned that, right? I just said those
Oh,
things.
okay. So, all right, then it can also contain symbols, right? But it is still limited. Okay, let me think, but this can be one approach. I will make a count array. No, but that is too much space would be wasted. Not required. ABCD, EDBC. Okay, let it think of some solution. Alright. Occurrence of each is one. ABCD, EDBC. So, count of A, it will go to array count A for increment rate. Sir, can this, okay, so one can be where basically what in string whatever characters come, they do come under a set of ASCII values.
Correct. Yes.
So so
Hello.
basically, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, Aditya.
So basically, they do come under a set of ASCII values, which is not which lies between some numbers, which is limited.
Okay.
So I can make a let's say the limit is 1 to 1,000. Let's say I'm taking just an arbitrary number because I know it is less than that. Hello.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, I will make a temporary array where of index 1 to 2,000, where each and every number is zero. Now, now I will go to each character of the first string and I will access it by, like, let's say the ASCII value of small is I'm not sure 97. Let's say then it will go to 97th index of the count array and it will increment it 1. Then it will go to small b, which is 98, it will increment it. Now, if again a b comes, then it will increment the 98 from 1 to 2. Hello.
Okay.
Same way, the count array after the whole traversal of string one, it will be consisting of, let's say there are 1,000 entries. Let's say just so there will be some entries which will be non-zero. Now,
Again,
yeah.
it's confused. Can you please repeat? Some network
So
glitch.
I'm saying
Can you
that
please repeat?
after the traversal of first string, the count array which I made, in
Okay.
that after the traversal of first string,
Okay.
there will be majority of the values would be zero, and there would be some non-zero values. Now, now I will, now I will,
Okay.
now I will go to string two, and I will start comparing each one of the character. Now,
Okay.
if any character which I find in this string, if it is already zero in the previous string, then I will return it to false directly.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
and if it is already like if the count is non-zero, then I will decrement
Okay.
that count by one.
Okay.
And basically, after whole of the traversal of the second string, if the final count array which I made, if each and every element is zero again, that means this output is true.
Okay.
This here, a lot of space is wasted, but here the thing which is taken care of that we are not concerned about the order in which it comes, and at the same time the complexity is O of n, the time complexity. Space is wasted, but still ASCII values come under a set of definite values, so there is not much space wasted.
Uh, Quick question here. How the size of that array you're saying?
So basically, string values.
No, array size. You said
Uh,
thousand some numbers, right? How do you come up with the number? Actual number.
so because
How do you know what is the number?
whatever comes under the string, okay, so all the small letters, all the capital letters, all the symbols, they come between a fixed ASCII value. Like
Okay.
small letters will come, they will only hold 26 indexes. Capital letter will also hold 26 indexes. Same way symbols will hold, let's say, some n indexes, whatever symbols are there. So if we add all the possible characters which are available, all the unique characters, those are not infinite. I mean, those are something which are very less. Now the count in that can vary. Like let's say you
You
tell me
see,
that the
I
size
got
of
wait. I got that part. The count array is zero. My question is, how do you implement it? That's what I'm trying to understand. You make the code. Okay, write the code. You have 5 minutes. Yeah, write the code.
yes, sir.
The input is something like this. Wait, let me turn on. Yeah, complete this. Yeah.
Like one comes one string है तो s आया फिर वापस s आया फिर वापस s आया तो मैंने पूरा string traverse किया string वन आया like 1 2 3 7 okay s आया टू पे गया. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Five zero nine. Okay. Uh, count of 2.5 equal to 0. Like if something is 0 already, then what does it mean? That this is present, but here it wasn't present. Return false. Is count 2 5 minus minus. Okay. Now this is what will happen. This will do, it will now. Okay. Mhm. Now then count I greater than, okay, if count I is not equal to 0 basically. This is what it means. I plus plus here. Hmm. And false. Let's return to yes sir.
Okay, so what you have done, you are incrementing count. Okay, when you're checking if count is zero, false, good. Okay,
If this is character, then I can do this way also minus.
so when will you do that? Okay, you done something right. What will do exactly?
Huh?
Now, what you are doing there? Line number 35. It was something like that, right? It was character. When you
Yeah. So
compile first, initially, like
ba-
let's say
basically,
compile first, right? So what will
yeah.
increment?
So it will increment the ASCII value of, in this example, if I take ABCD, then it will increment ASCII value of small a. I will go to index, that index of count, and it will increase that ASCII value to 1.
Okay, now why are you subtracting my zero
So
or what is that?
that I did, sir, because one of I, this is a character, and I want to
Okay,
convert that character into integer.
okay,
So
correct.
let me do it here also.
Fine. So what will happen when you do that? It was not compiling, you fixed it. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. So what are you asking, sir?
No, I want to understand you are subtracting zero every time, correct?
Yes.
So why are you picking up that character zero?
So basically, that is the syntax, right? Where a
Is that a
character
syntax?
is. Uh, yes, sir. I guess.
You're guessing or you know. What
Sir,
I want
I
is what you're not guessing, right? Whatever you're guessing. No, I don't want that. I want a working solution.
so basically, if I directly write 1 of I, then the compiler, uh, by its own memory,
Correct.
will
It
it?
will fail. You're fixing it correct. But uh, if you fix the compilation, doesn't mean that it's working solution, right?
So sorry, sir.
No, you're trying to fix the compilation. I get that. But
Yeah.
I want a working solution. Okay. You
Yeah.
might fix the compilation. Okay. But
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's a working solution.
So I guess even if I don't add this minus zero, it will still work.
But you just said that you need to, it's a character, right? How would
Yeah.
you use it in the index of an
Because the compiler will directly convert it into the ASCII value and increment it there.
then why did you write this code?
So I was a bit unsure about that. Like whether the compiler will it automatically do it or manually we will have to guide it.
Then how are you sure about now?
Uh, Actually, sir, there is a dilemma where I am not exactly aware what the syntax should be.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, fine. We'll stop the interview here. Okay. You have 2 minutes to discuss. Okay. How was the interview, Aditya?
Uh, yes, sir, it was. Yes, it was. I mean, this was the first time I had the experience of interview, so obviously I was a bit nervous at the start. But yeah, gradually, sir, it was going somehow smooth
Okay.
for me. So
Okay.
I
That's
enjoyed
okay.
the experience.
Yeah, it did very well for a first time interview. Okay. Before I give feedback, right? You
Yes, sir.
give feedback to yourself. What did you do? What do you think you have done better? What do you think you did well? You give a self evaluation of yourself before I give my feedback.
Sorry, I could not hear, sir, what
No,
you
you
said.
try to give feedback to yourself, Aditya. You think
Okay.
what you did well. You think
Mhm.
what you need to do better in which areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
You see,
so,
I
so
don't want
you
generic term. I just want specific items in these two problems.
so you want me to give you my own feedback?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, I think this is uh, okay. So you're asking how I perform that way.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that okay, pertaining to these two problems, sir, I will answer. Sir,
Okay.
if I talk about the first problem, initially, uh, I was thinking like directly by looking at just the input array, like so that is something I was making a mistake, but gradually as I went, I could see that I could apply the Tadan's algorithm a bit variant. So I'm not sure whether my first solution is totally correct, but somehow I could skip that step and look a bit far. So I think that was something which is good. I mean, I don't want to actually give a tag, but okay. And then coming to the second problem, but yeah, definitely I did make a mistake in what to return. Okay, now coming to the second problem, I think second problem my solution was is correct, but just that I was unsure about this syntax. This is something which I shouldn't be in general. I should be sure about whatever code I write. So this dilemma which came, that is not, but I think that the solution which I could think of taking a count array and incrementing it, that is something which is good, sir. Sir, I don't know, sir, if this seems as if I'm very satisfied with myself, but maybe it shouldn't be that way. I don't know, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'll give feedback. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The first problem, yeah, you started with the. Okay. I'll give overall feedback. Okay. Both problems, your logic thinking is good. That's very
Hmm.
important. Okay. Logic
Hmm.
base, you're good.
Hmm.
Okay, that is really important. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
so you're stuck in the beginning, and you were able to come up with a close solution. Okay,
Hmm.
a working
Hmm.
solution. You're able to something close to working solution. Okay, that
Okay.
is one. So that's good. Okay,
Okay.
then what else? Yeah, that's very important, right? That's very, very important fact. Okay, we're just in the beginning stage. your logic skills are good. So over the
Okay.
practice, you will reach
Mm.
is the proper level. Okay, that is one.
Okay. Mm.
Now, uh, your coding skills are good. Okay, but okay, now we'll talk about the improvements part. Okay, the first
Okay.
problem, you spend really too much time, and you are just using paper and pen. I don't know what you were thinking. It was just blank for like 10 to 15 minutes. I
Okay.
don't know. You're thinking something. I don't know what you're thinking. You should use board
Okay.
or you should talk loud. And you're speaking in Hindi also. Don't do that. I don't know
Okay.
Hindi. Okay. So I have no idea what you are talking. Okay. The thing is, have it interactive. Don't be silent. If it's silent means, if the interview silent means, it's definitely wrong. Okay. I will. You see,
Okay.
in a real interview, right? I will be interviewing a lot of
Mm.
people. I will be really tired. If you're silent for
Mm.
10 minutes, right, I will stop listening to
Mm.
you. I will use my, I start doing something else. Even if you're stuck somewhere, if you're asking something, right, I might miss
Mm.
it. That's bad, right?
Okay, I
Don't
see.
put
Yes, yes.
got it, right, to keep it interactive. Do not be silent. So uh, on one more positiveness, you one good thing is you asked about the edge cases, like the input thing. That's good. Like you asked me whether it will have only a, that's good, but it was little late, like, but it's okay. But should do it in the beginning itself. As soon as I give the question, you should ask me. First one you ask me, it's a 19 numbers is there or not good. Second one you'll ask me later, like it will have
Okay.
you follow steps. Step one, understand the
Mm.
problem. Second,
Mm.
understand the question, like what are the type of inputs constraint. Then jump into the logic. Then discuss the logic. Then write the code.
Okay, sir.
You follow the steps just like that. That's what you need to
Okay.
do. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And you were okay. And again, it's first interview. It's okay. You're asking what should I
Uh,
do, sir? It's okay since it's first interview. Like in the beginning. Second thing
so,
is, main thing is,
what
right.
should I
I'm
do?
giving you
As
hint.
in?
I'm giving you hint. You're not getting it at all. The first problem, right? I'm just trying to give a hint again and again. The first problem. I
Okay.
usually I shouldn't do that. Okay, because we're close to solution. I was trying to hint, like I just pointed out to you. Tempo will include AFI every time. Should you include it or not? I
Mm-hmm.
was repeatedly telling that. The actual definition again. So when I ask you
Okay.
something, repeating something means I'm asking you to fix it. There is something wrong here. I'm trying to give you a hint. Listen, listen. It's
Mm-hmm.
very
Okay.
important. Okay. Why should I talk about? I can complete quite okay. We'll move next problem. I can reject you. Okay, but I do not want that. I'm when I'm asking something means something is wrong. Have a look. That was
Okay,
mean.
so okay, so when you give a hint, I should listen to it and not, I mean, cross question. That what you are saying?
No, cross question is fine,
Huh.
but you should understand, right? What I'm trying to say. You're not even understanding. Like you stick to a solution.
Okay.
That's it. So
Okay, I
if
see.
I'm repeatedly asking something means you should understand that hey, he's trying to help me out. He something is wrong. Maybe some edge case is missing. If we tweak it, it should work. You tweak it like comparing temp and n minus two, but check again. Okay, the definition of a temp I asked you, right? I asked you twice with thrice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, I
Okay.
gave you input. Okay. So I said that maybe it's working for you. Then you change to maximum of temp n minus one n minus two. Maybe that works
Mm-hmm.
for this, but not for all cases. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But you were not listening. I stopped it. Okay, because you were not
Okay.
listening.
Uh,
Then
so,
coming to the next question, right? You are giving. Do not say I guess. Okay, you should know very fundamentals, right? What algorithm you use. Otherwise, don't talk about it. If you're using something, you should own it. It's your code.
okay.
You're saying starting algorithm and you're not sure about which algorithm, some algorithms. No, that's very basics, right? You're able to
Yeah.
have the beautiful logic. Why are you struggling there in the basics and even the index part, right?
Okay.
That and again, the thing is, even if you're super good in these things, right? If you're not strong in fundamentals, it's a big red flag. Let me be honest with you.
Okay, I see.
If I say that, hey, he doesn't know the sorting algorithms, the worst case time velocity, they will simply say no, no, hey, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anything is you should be very strong in fundamentals. That's a thumb rule.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Because if you're not fundamental, right, you're stuck here, right? Your solution is not a working solution, correct? Or you don't know, correct? And the ASCII characters also you put 1,000. If you know how many characters are in ASCII, you would have used the right size. 1,000 is not the right one. Okay. That's what your
Uh-huh.
fundamentals need to refresh. Maybe not that much. Maybe
Mhm.
just refresh it fundamentals. You should be strong in fundamentals. Okay.
Okay, sir, sure.
Yeah. That's all I had for today, Aditya. You have any questions for me?
Uh, uh, no, sir, as of sir, so basically, okay. So, sir, in the first problem which you are telling that where you told me about that array, so what should
Wait,
I do?
stop. Go and check it. Okay. Try to solve it again. I will not give
Uh,
any hint.
no. I think that whenever you ask me something during when I explain the code, so I should always take it like you are trying to give me a hint in that way.
It's not like that. I might do some
Okay.
ulta also. I try to challenge you. You should say that I will do the both. Okay. It
Okay.
happened. You should know the solution, right? If someone says that you are wrong, then you should look the code. Hey, I'm not wrong. This is because of the so and so reason. Okay.
Okay.
Or if they come with the data, right? I came with the data, right? I gave an example. That means something is wrong. That you have to fix. As long as who
But
has the right data, they can challenge anyone. Either you can
okay, so
challenge me or I can challenge you.
okay, so basically, I always have to listen to each and every statement which you say while I'm doing the code.
Yeah. Sometimes, right,
Uh,
I might give some wrong idea also. You should correct me as well. Okay. Maybe I will not be
uh,
doing right away. I will do it later stages. Okay.
okay, I see, okay.
Because it's your code, right? You should know
Yeah,
this is what will happen if I do this. Otherwise, this is what will happen. Correct?
yes, it makes sense. Okay, sir, sure.
Okay. And overall, I'm happy with the performance since we're in the early stage, right? So I'm very
Yes,
happy
sir.
with that. I would want you to refresh on the basics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If I
Okay.
implemented a method, right, or I simply asked, hey, write a efficient sorting algorithm,
Uh,
you would not have done it.
uh,
Correct?
yes, sir. I'm not actually thorough with all the sorting algos yet. I mean, there's many. Okay, so I should be.
Hmm.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sure, sir. So before the next time we meet, sir, before that, I will be thorough with the fundamentals, sir.
Wait, do not. Okay. Also, we will next week. Don't rush. You have enough
Uh-huh.
time. Do not
Uh,
rush and overdo it. Okay.
uh,
Take a steady step. Okay.
yeah. So right now, sir, how should I proceed then?
What do you want to like? If first the fundamentals, whatever
Okay.
said is correct, but don't say that. Don't fly like.
Okay.
What I'm saying, like 30 minutes you read everything. No, don't speed. Like go in steady manner. Okay. Then
Okay.
only will understand.